still do. Oh, Power Rangers. Franchise made on the premise of recycled footage from a Japanese show to help sell toys based on said footage, with additional American and New Zealand footage here and there for filling in the gaps between the fight scenes. But we're not here to talk about the show. That would be for someone else to do whenever they get around to it. Oh well. Anyway, what we're here to talk about is a game based on that franchise, a specific one for the PlayStation 2. That game being Power Rangers Super Legends. This game was created to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the franchise, having both a PlayStation 2 and PC port, which are more or less the same, and having a DS version to go alongside it. All versions being created, however, by Artificial Mind and Movement. Artificial Mind and Movement's logo, however, was less than wholesome, knowing what A2M can also mean. But wait, that name sounds familiar. Let's have a look into them, shall we? See what they did besides this. Well, I guess everyone has to start somewhere when it comes to game development. Well, let's start wasting time on some small information and actually start looking into this game more. We start on planet Namek? Okay. With a giant robot stomping around. As a portal opens, and out comes a ranger. A future version of the SPD's Omega Ranger, to be precise. As you're breaking into the giant robot, he finds Crystal.
Crystals. Of course.
But suddenly, Lord Zed. Omega decides the best thing to do would be to share the crystal, which flies into multiple portals. Zed then proceeds to grab a spare crystal that just happens to be lying right beside him. Convenient. Or dumb. I don't know. But now we get to play. Let's talk about gameplay now. The PC and PlayStation 2 versions of the game are both side-scrolling beat-em-ups with some collectathon elements. Specifically, a random MacGuffin based on that specific Ranger team in each level. For these Rangers, it's eggs? Okay. While also having a continuous collectible over all of the Ranger teams, that specifically being the Ranger letters.
Okay.
Operation Overdrive!
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Get them!
Operation Overdrive is the most recent at the time, so it makes sense for them to be the first playable in the game, which also relegates them to being the tutorial level. The villain they decided to go with for the Operation Overdrive Rangers is Moltar, a villain from their franchise who, if I remember correctly, died in the end of their series. So this probably takes place somewhere in between episodes of the show. And Moltar's foot soldiers are the lava lizards, who are lizards who are from lava. Go figure. Each level has a specific amount of enemies and unique collectibles to acquire per team. Every team has to collect 10 random collectibles based on each of their own themes. As previously stated, the Operation Overdrive team have those weird eggs, and a specific amount of enemies they need to kill. Not only that, there's also a specific amount of combos they need to reach to get a better grade at the end of the level. Due to the season's theme of globe-trotting adventure, the Operation Overdrive's team have a specific level design of a desert. Although for them they only have one Ranger level and one Zord level. Okay, I guess in this desert area they have scientifically advanced doors that randomly lead you through a rock. Let's move on.
There he is! Look out! Ha ha ha
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. Weird. Okay, and now it's an elevator fight scene. Well, I have a feeling this is going to be a reoccurring thing in this game. Not specifically with The Rock, but elevators and fighting on them. And of course, with the fact that you're able to throw the enemies, it's a rather easy elevator fight scene.
This is too easy.
Following several rooms of enemies, which are tedious and annoying, hence why I'm fast forwarding this, you fight Moltor, who is more or less a pushover himself.
Time's up, Moltor!
You should have stayed in bed this morning. Next time, just hit snooze.
Oh, so now you say who it is at the end of the stage. Cheers, Operation Overdrive.
With this stone, I'll go back in time and ruin your childhood, you brat!
Come here, you. Coming right up. This is too easy.
And like
Quick,
that,
let's get that stone!
Moltor is defeated by stomping him on the head and then doing a pose and exploding. Because Power Rangers, am I right? Okay, so he's not quite finished yet. You still have to fight him using the Zords. Which, at first, I would have thought would have been an amazing thing. Being able to use a giant mech robot in possibly a similar style to the way the Rangers fight, but with huge, massive weaponry. How cool is that? Sadly, that's not what you get to do. Instead, you get this.
Overdrive! Accelerate!
Yep. This game decided the best idea of how to implement the Zords into a fighting scenario would be to just simply make them be a button pressing minigame.
You don't stand a chance!
With Moltar defeated, the Operation Overdrive Rangers decide to be their normal, subtle selves and retrieve the item from the chest. But it turns out to be one of those missing crystals the Omega Ranger was looking for.
Power Rangers!
The Omega Ranger so happens to contact them, and they jump through a portal, ending the first segment of the Power Rangers Super Legends game.
Some sort of Power Ranger historian?
Something like that. However, I've been placed under a temporal curse, and I cannot leave the Hall of Legends. As one ranger to another, I need your help. The artifact in your hands may be our only chance.
What do you think?
I think he's telling the truth.
We must correct time before it's too late. The Chronostone will take you back to your timeline afterwards.
Okay, we're in. We'll get the others.
No, you can't. The stone can only pull 2 individuals from any given timeline. Any more could destroy it, stranding you in time.
Not good.
Come, before the rift closes.